Let's go. That's what we need. That's the energy you need. You have been waiting since April 2020. Since April 2020, you've been waiting. Jamal Murray goes down with an ACL injury. Aaron Gordon gets traded to the Denver Nuggets on March 25th, 2021. Y'all, it's been 752 days since Aaron Gordon joined the Denver Nuggets. And today, April 16th, 2023, is the first time Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., and Jamal Murray touched an NBA floor together in the playoff. We went through the playoffs in 2021, made it to the second round, got swept by the Suns. You went to the playoffs in 2022. You only got 5 games in the first round because you had Monte Morris, Will Barton, Marcus Howard, all these other dudes on the bench, Facu Campazzo, all these cats. And everybody and their mama was saying Jamal Murray wouldn't have made a difference versus the Sun. Jamal Murray wouldn't have made a difference versus the Warriors. Michael Porter Jr. would have made no difference versus the Warriors. But then they go out in the offseason. They get Kentavious Caldwell-Pope from the Washington Wizards, and you had beat writers saying that they were just dumping salary. Then you get Bruce Brown for $6.5 million, and people said he's going to be a nice, shiny asset. We'll see what he does. He's not a star, good role player, make it happen. And then Aaron Gordon puts his best season together. Michael Porter Jr. has his best two-way season of his career. Jamal Murray has his best playmaking season of his career. Nikola Jokic has his best season of his career, gets robbed of an MVP because of some bogus narrative nonsense, and everybody was blushing and gassing. Did you see them from March 3rd on when they had a 7-game lead over the Memphis Grizzlies? People said, oh, they must be fraudulent. Look it, they're 12-11 since the All-Star break. Look it, they lost to the Houston Rockets. Look it, they lost to the Utah Jazz. Look it, they couldn't beat these teams that are clearly tanking, clearly want no smoke, clearly ducking and trying to get something in the Victor Wembanyama draft. They clearly are looking for your Scoot Henderson. They clearly are looking for your Victor Wembanyama. And people kept saying the Denver Nuggets don't got what it takes. They don't got the kind of player to get it done. They don't have the ceiling to get it done. They don't have the defense to get it done. Everybody said they fell off defensively, even though I would tell people 51 games sample size, they were the number 6 defense in the NBA. Well, it don't matter. That's not playoff basketball. And then they get the first seed, a 7-game lead for the first seed, and everybody's asking the question, how good are these dudes if they can't lock nobody up? The Spurs put hands on them. Surely they can't play defense. The Rockets put hands on them. Surely they can't play defense. But then, like I was telling people all year, if you give the best player in the NBA a competent roster, if you give Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, and Jamal Murray defenders, if you give them wings who can play defense, if you give them wings who can switch, if you give them wings who can shoot, if you give them players bought into a system and an identity that you can get it done. And like I said, I told folks that you best not miss. All that jawing and all that talking you were doing the last 2 years, hey, all that's out the window. All that's out the window. It's a new season, 16-game season. And I said, watch what they do. Because you're going to get into the playoff and everybody asking these questions, how good are these dudes? Can they actually get it done? People picking the Minnesota Timberwolves writers. People saying they're going to struggle to get out. People saying they're going to get washed by the Suns. Well, how about you tell the Suns to take care of the Clippers with no Paul George? Go talk to them about that before you bring them over to the number 1 seed that everybody was calling fraud. Matter of fact, go on NBA Twitter right now. Folks are sitting here telling you that they're the Utah Jazz of 2023. Meaning they got a star-level player, a burnt roster, and they can't get nothing done in the playoff. But like I said, Jamal, Jokic, Gordon, Porter had never played together. And what happens? What happens? The Denver Nuggets hold the Minnesota Timberwolves to 58 points through the first 3 quarters of an NBA playoff game. Wow, is that significant? Bronco Squatch on Twitter confirmed this is the worst offensive performance for the Minnesota Timberwolves the entire season. This is the worst offensive performance for the Minnesota Timberwolves the entire season. So this is what I'm trying to understand. If people are saying they're frauds and they can't play defense, now that they played elite defense, what's the excuse now? It's just the Wolves. Did I not just watch the Wolves giving problems to multiple teams in the play-in? Did I not watch Karl-Anthony Towns giving multiple people problems? Did he not just give Anthony Davis problems? So wait, I'm confused. So which way is it? Is it that the Nuggets are frauds and they turned it up and now you shocked? Or it is the other side of the court where you're saying the Wolves really ain't that good? Because Karl-Anthony Towns, who I was told was going to have a good series versus this front court in Denver, was held to 5 of 15 shooting by Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Jeff Green, and that's about it. So this is what I'm trying to understand. I was told that the Nugs are fraudulent. So let me just go through this stat line. Jamal Murray, 33 minutes, 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. Nikola Jokic, playoff dropper. Matter of fact, can y'all do me a favor real quick? Can you Google, because fans love bringing this stat up, can you Google Nikola Jokic's plus minus in the playoffs in the last 2 playoff runs? Because every time we have conversations about Joker, they bring up that nonsense with no context. Well, if he was really the MVP, his plus minus would look this and that. How do you know he's actually good if he's getting cooked by the Warriors and getting cooked by the Sun? Well, let me go ahead and show you. Nikola Jokic tonight, in a game where he didn't have to play even his C game, 13 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 of 12 from the field, 1 of 3 from the free throw line, 1 steal, plus 15. So I just need confirmation. Is he a fraud? Because he didn't have to put up crazy numbers. That's what I'm trying to understand. So here we go. All right, now, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, the Nuggets traded for him to get a salary dump, correct? 31 minutes, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 6 of 11 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, plus 21. Aaron Gordon, 23 minutes, the overpaid, 4-year, $92 million contract. They'd say they overpaid for him. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 of 7, 2 of 4, 5 of 6, plus 15. Michael Porter Jr., oh my gosh, max contract, no way. Michael Porter Jr., 31 minutes, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 of 17 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, 0 of 1 from the free throw line, 1 steal, plus 22. The Denver Nuggets starters, plus 24, plus 21, plus 22, plus 15, plus 15. Best starting unit in the NBA. Now, you can say whatever you want. It's just the Minnesota Timberwolves. You can say whatever you want. It's just the first round. It's the first game of the first round. What do you expect? The Clippers, without Paul George, just beat your beloved favorites to come out of the West, Suns. Just beat them on their home court. The Milwaukee Bucks, people's favorite to win the NBA championship, just got beat by double digits to Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Again, Giannis with injuries. Understand that. Absolutely. Hope he gets better soon. He needs to get better. One of my favorite players in the league. But you had multiple teams that dropped today. But I saw the Denver Nuggets hold a team to 80 points? Huh? 80 points? 80 points? I'm shocked. Y'all. A Nikola Jokic-led defense held a team to 80 points? Wow. That's crazy. I had no idea. I didn't know they could do that. Did you? I mean, the way that people have been telling me, the Nuggets had no opportunity to do that with a Nikola Jokic-led defense. So this is what I'm trying to understand. Are they frauds or are they not? Because, the narrative's going to shift. It's going to change. Oh, Jokic only had 13, 14, and 6, even though he was literally abusing Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns whenever he wanted. But, hey, he's a fraud. Oh, Jamal Murray, well, he's not, whatever. 24, 8, and 8 in your first playoff game back in 3 playoff runs. It's been over 2 full years since he's played in a playoff game. 24, 8, and 8. Now, the efficiency is not what you love, but guess what? The Denver Nuggets tonight, y'all, they held the Minnesota Timberwolves to an 86 defensive rating. The Denver Nuggets, the bad defense, the Jokic-led defense, they held the Minnesota Timberwolves to an 86 defensive rating. 86 defensive rating. But I was told that they couldn't get it done. I was told they don't have it. I was told they don't have the personnel and the players, and that with Jokic, there's no way for them to get that done. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all yourself so you can go ahead and read it in week. Here you go. From cleaning the glass, in case you don't believe me, the Denver Nuggets, they held them to an 86 defensive rating while having a 115 offensive rating themselves. Wow, that's interesting. So, Swipa, you're telling me they almost had a plus 30 net rating in a playoff game? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, how about this? That rim defense everybody's worried about? They held the Minnesota Timberwolves to 63% at the rim. With Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards? Yeah, they did. That's really good. Oh, and they only allowed 14 shots at the rim? Wait a minute. That's interesting. I thought they couldn't keep people from getting in the paint. Only 14 shots at the rim? Wow, with Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns? That's interesting. Oh, wow. Half-court offense. They held the Minnesota Timberwolves to a 79 offensive rating in the half-court. Wow. Another elite defensive stat. That's really good. Oh, the Denver Nuggets, they were a 147 offensive rating in the transition and held them to a 60 offensive rating in the transition. Wow. That's really good. So wait a minute. I'm confused. If the Nuggets can't play defense, how in the world did they hold them to an 86 defensive rating? Because this is what I'm trying to understand. Let me get this straight. And I don't care. Everybody, you can say it's just the Timberwolves. It's just one game. Denver Nuggets Nation, you have waited for more than 2 years to get this version of the Denver Nuggets. You have waited since March 25th, 2021. You waited 752 days to see the trade from 2 seasons ago be actualized in 2023. So if you want to celebrate your team, if you want to celebrate this accomplishment, being the number 1 seed, taking care of business, and everybody and their mama doubting the Denver Nuggets, doubting Joker, doubting Jamal, saying they're lucky. I got people, literally writers, they're lucky that they avoided the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round. That's what people think about them. People are saying, trusted writers that I love, say that the Denver Nuggets are losing in 5 to the Suns in the next round. So what I'm telling you is, if that's the case, if we're to take these people seriously, then you need to celebrate every opportunity that you get. Now, I don't need to bash the Minnesota Timberwolves. I respect Ant. I respect Cat, Rudy, Chris Finch. They don't have Jaden McDaniels or Naz Reid. I get it. But this is it. The Denver Nuggets are who we thought they were. Because when they lose to bad teams, when Jokic has a bad defensive game, he is so great at this point in time in his career that there were literally online campaigns trying to not get him the MVP award based on nonsense and trying to put up defensive highlights versus the Spurs again when they'd already locked up the first seed by 7 games and everybody was saying, look how bad he is. You can't depend on him. He can't be the best player in the world. Now today, the Denver Nuggets hold them to 80 points and an 86 offensive rating, but you're not supposed to celebrate. So this is what I'm trying to understand. If they're allowed to hate, are you not allowed to show love to your team, to the players you support, to the coach you support? So I'm in this channel, we're going to talk about the basketball game, but we're going to celebrate the fact that we have waited 752 days and you got to see it live. And they gave you maybe the most dominant opening game performance of the playoffs by any team. That's what you saw. So I, for one, am very encouraged by what I saw today across the board from every single player. Because every player has a narrative that they ain't made of the right stuff, they ain't good enough, or that they can't play defense. And today, in game one, they took it and they did what they're supposed to do with it. Right. So the bench, by the way, Bruce Brown, 14-3-1, 5 of 8, 2 of 4, 2 of 3. He was a plus 11. Jeff Green, no points, but guess what? He was a plus 11. Christian Brown, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He was a plus 12. DeAndre Jordan, 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 of 3, a plus 7. Peyton Watson, 4 minutes. Reggie Jackson, 4 minutes. Deke Naji, 4 minutes. Ish Smith, 4 minutes. Blacko Chanchar. Everybody was in the plus today except for Blacko, and they absolutely dominated. So there's multiple things to get to today. When I tell you that man, Christian Brown, is a DOG, he's a dog, bro. Carl Anderson tested him today, and Carl Anderson elbowed him in the face, and he didn't respond. Flagrant on Carl Anderson, 2 free throws at the free throw line and a ball for Christian. Now, here's the thing that people are going to have to readjust to. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, because of the way ESPN tells their story, because of the way you get stories on First Take or Kendrick Perkins making up narratives or all this other stuff, people tell you the story that the Nuggets cannot play defense. So the other side of this is the information says they can, but everybody always says, but you got to do it in the playoffs. But this is what I'm telling you, is that the difference between this team and every other iteration of the Nuggets, and especially the last 2 years, you don't have Facu Campazzo at 5'10". You don't have Monte Morris at 6'1". You don't have Will Barton, who's a negative defender. You don't have Shaq Harrison. You don't have Austin Rivers. You don't have Bryn Ford. You don't have Marcus Howard. That was your guard rotation the last 2 years. Now you have Jamal Murray at 6'4.5". You have KCP at 6'5". Bruce Brown at 6'4". Christian Brown at 6'6". And then you have Peyton Watson at 6'7". And then you have Jeff Green at 6'8", Aaron Gordon at 6'8", Michael Porter Jr. at 6'10". So the difference is the Nuggets are huge. They're huge. So they're in a situation where they are so athletic, they are so physical that if you aren't used to playing against the Nuggets, it's a surprise with how much they run, how athletic they are, and how big they are. And tonight, versus Kyle Anderson, Rudy Gobert, and Karl Anthony Towns, a big front court themselves, the Nuggets were able to put hands on them. They were able to put hands on them. The Denver Nuggets, they won the rebounding battle 54-38 and 11 offensive rebounds to 5 offensive rebounds for the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Nuggets had 24 assists tonight. The Wolves had 18. The Nuggets had 10 turnovers to the Wolves' 11. The Nuggets shot 46% from the field, 41% from 3, and 65% from the line. They held the Wolves to 37 from the field, 31 from 3, and 56 from the free throw line. So what I'm telling y'all is the Denver Nuggets, they are the more physical team, they're the more dominant team, and they're the more defensively inclined team, even with Rudy and Anthony Edwards on the court. Now, Jaden McDaniels is a huge loss, but I think what people need to realize, this is who the Nuggets are. And again, you can keep making up narratives in your head, but Jokic was spectacular defensively, especially in that second half. At the opening of the third quarter, he had 3 straight defensive stops that led to points. And the Nuggets, again, they have so many players that can get to the rim, so many players that can get downhill, so many players that can run, and then they're loaded with shooters. Because if you stop KCP, then there's Michael Porter Jr. If you stop Michael Porter Jr., then there's Jamal Murray. If you stop them, then there's Nikola Jokic. If you stop them, then you have Bruce Brown who can hit threes, Aaron Gordon who can hit threes, Jeff Green sometime, Flacco can hit threes. And then you have Christian Brown, who's a good to decent three-point shooter, not on a lot of volume. So if you do stop them, They have so much more that they can throw at you, including getting to the rim almost at will because of how physical they are. And let me tell y'all, Jokic had 13 points tonight. Again, Jokic could have, he could have put up a 30 ball on good efficiency. But it's the way the game goes, man. Like, they were so dominant as a team. The team wanted to prove something tonight. And the team that hadn't played together in the playoffs before, their first game, 109-80. 58 points through 3 quarters when the game mattered. So this is what I'm telling y'all, man. Like, people, they just have to wake up. If they're sleeping on the Denver Nuggets now, then that's on them. It's time to wake up, because you're not going to be able to walk into Ball Arena or even at home where you play and just be like, all right, bet. We just going to show up. We're going to try to body him. We're going to try to bully him. Nah. Oh, by the way, Karl Anthony Towns before the game said having Austin Rivers and Tim Connolly and all these, and Chris Finch, who used to be with the Nuggets, they all lended a serious hand in helping them game plan for the Denver Nuggets. And then he also told, I think, Adam Mares from DNVR, you'll see. Well, we saw. We came and we saw, as Young Thug said. We came and we saw. And I think they're going to put up better efforts. I think there's going to be a couple of close games. But I already picked the Nuggets to win in 5. But if the Nuggets, if they're serious, they can win in 4. But I'm going to give the Wolves an opportunity, because this is not about the Wolves being bad. This is about the Nuggets. Their expectation is to win a championship. So if you're doing that, then you got to make short work of the easiest series, because next round, after the Clippers get out of the dogfight with the Clippers that I told y'all they were going to be in, all right, then you need to take care of the Suns, because everybody is going to be putting the money on the Suns and picking the Suns. But you need to settle business now in the first round. You get your chemistry. You do what you need to do, you play defense, you get your cues down, you play aggressive, you take care of the home floor, and you go to Minnesota and you beat them there. And Lord willing, you stay healthy. And then it's load them up time. Because after that, then you're going to have one of the Suns, the Clippers, the Warriors, or the Lakers, or the Kings, or Memphis. So I'm telling y'all, this playoff run about to be special. But I told y'all this last year. Again, my prediction for the finals was the Nuggets versus the Bucks. And tonight, dude, I'm telling you, man, go back and watch the game. I would just encourage you, go back and watch the game. Go back and watch it in the highlights. Go back and watch the entirety of the game as a whole. The Nuggets were playing relentless defense tonight. They were attacking Karl Anthony Towns as a dribbler in the post. They wouldn't let you breathe tonight. Anthony Edwards tonight was held to 18 points on 6 of 15 shooting. 18 points on 6 of 15. Towns, 11 points on 5 of 15. Kyle Anderson had 11 off the bench on 5 of 11. Minus 15 for him. Rudy Gobert was a minus 28. Edwards a minus 12. Karl a minus 11. Conley a minus 18. You take care of business. Take care of business. That's what matters. Oh, Harry said it. Jeff Green, man. Jeff Green he got the ball taken from him by Kyle Anderson and had a crazy, crazy chase down block, bro. A crazy chase down block that further just set the tone for what you can expect from the Nuggets. They're not going to give up, and they're not going to roll over. They're not going to give up, and they're not going to roll over. So if you beat them, then you're going to have to do it for 48 minutes. 48 minutes is what is required for you to take care of business versus this team. So I am so excited. I am so incredibly proud of Malone, of Maul, Jokic, Gordon, KCP, MPJ, Bruce, Christian, Jeff, DeAndre Jordan, Peyton Watson, Vlatko Chanchar, Ish Smith. I am so incredibly proud of all of them that they have earned the first seed, and they took the Wolves to the shed today, and they weren't mucking around. So incredible game from the Denver Nuggets. The starters were excellent. They showed why they were the best team in the West, and I expect them to keep this going and keep going and keep doing what they're supposed to do, y'all. So I am so excited. The Denver Nuggets, 1-0. 1-0 versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. More to come, y'all. Check out the latest episode I did. We had Adam Modes, we had Matt Moore, we had Ryan Blackburn, y'all. This was an incredible game for the Denver Nuggets. Shout out to them, y'all. 1-0. We on the way. Another game on the next. We will see y'all soon.